Hey guys, welcome back to another week of Autastic, your comedian's guide to autism. I'm your host. My name is Kirk, and here with my friend
Graham K. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another sweet sode of Autastic. We are in the same room. I don't know if you can already tell. The rapport is incredible.
We've talked for an hour about nothing. 2 hours.
We have. We actually have, yeah.
That's not true. Not nothing. NBA mostly.
This podcast is an excuse for us to talk about the NBA and our sad dating lives off air. And then we talk about autism for about 20 minutes. At the very end.
The NBA is also sad usually when we're talking about both our teams. Neither of them look terrific, but we're both trying to talk ourselves into it.
That's right. That's right. You are talking.
No, it's going to be good. It's going to be third seed, and Graham's like, the Warriors not going to be third seed, Kirk.
No. And I'm trying to talk myself into a play-in tournament berth, which won't happen. Anyway, everything doesn't matter what we're talking about. But this is the Comedian's Guide to Autism, and my brother Peter is doing okay. Looks like his limp is getting a little better. And after he had surgery a year ago, almost exactly a year ago, and he's wearing giant hiking boots now. As soon as
he called me and told me about them.
Oh, did he? Yeah, he wears giant hiking boots everywhere now. They're basically like ski boots.
He said they're going to protect him.
They're going to protect him. He was told they were, and then they probably will.
They might, yeah.
But he still walks with a little bit of a limp, and I've got to figure out what to do with that because my parents, it's the first time in my life where my parents aren't doing anything and I have to do it. They're like too old. They're 75. They're not paying attention and they lack the motivation to fix his limp. So I have to do it.
I'm looking forward to those years when I lack the motivation. I just don't care.
Yeah. They're kind of like, well, you figure it out.
It is how it is.
I live in New York. He's not my son. Okay, I'll do it. So it's something, something to think about. It's a harbinger of not doom, but things to come.
It's a great way to put it.
Which is a great way to put life, getting older, isn't it?
Not
doom, things to come.
Just how things are.
Yeah.
I've had a pretty busy 3 weeks since I've been gone. I don't know. And I got sick. I got better. I got sick again. Yeah, just busy.
You're never sick.
No, I'm usually not.
You must have been run down.
Strong like a horse. I ran out of my vitamin C's that I like to take, and just got a little cold. I was fine.
You're traveling so much, dude.
A little bit too much traveling. I did have kind of an interesting week in review. I had on this last... Was it the last... Man, time. I have a hard time with time. I think it was this last week. It was 3 days ago. I had a mother and son couple, a couple with a son, excuse me, and the son had clearly severely autistic, and kind of a little bit verbal, and they came to my clean show that I do maybe 6 minutes on autism out of 30, maybe. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's about the limit I think people have, about 10%, maybe 20%. Yeah. That's about all they want to hear on that. But they were very, very excited. And
that could go two ways, though. I've done it where they don't get it. They're crying, and they go, we're trying to have a good time, and we don't want to think about our lives.
I don't usually have the crying one.
We thought we were going to come see comedy, and this man's talking about autism. I've had that like 2 times. But if you've seen my act, it's not like mean. It's like lighthearted and nice.
But I will say, I think there's a difference between a sibling and a parent.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely doing it from the parent's point of view because that's my point of view. And so I think siblings would connect more with yours, and my daughter would like your act more.
Yeah.
But your parents might get my act more.
Well, I'm sorry that What? You get to die and then not worry about it. I have to worry about it for way longer than you do from right now.
Maybe. We'll see. I thought about that recently. In my family, a lot of my immediate grandparents lived in their 90s. So
your daughter's going to live longer than you. She's going to take care of him longer.
I might outlive my son.
Right.
Based on what he's got. The way things are. He's got some on the severe end, Anyway, I don't be too negative, but
Yeah.
actually, no, this isn't negative. This is a real life thing. So, life expectancy.
It's sad, but it is real. Yeah.
Yeah. But if he lives to be in his 60s, that's a good life.
Certainly.
Actually, be 70s, honestly,
Certainly.
because I had him in my 20s. So if I was in my 90s, he'd be in his 70s, which would be, speaking of spending more time with him, I'm going next month for his end of November and for his birthday, and I'll be there almost 10 days, which is, I was there this summer. I was there for quite a long time. Oh, we're getting a breaking news. We got a call from good old Pete.
Yeah.
We think we should interrupt this. Take his call. See how Peter's doing.
Well, he just hung up. But,
okay.
But we'll get him back.
And then I'll update you after about the Sweden trip. End of November, beginning of December.
Yeah. Ernie. Hey, Ernie.
I tried to call, but you didn't answer.
Sorry, Ernie. Sorry, pal. Hey, I'm doing my podcast right now. You're on the air, Ernie.
Thanks, Bert. Or should I say, Spider-Man?
Oh, Spider-Man. How you doing, buddy?
Fine.
Yeah? What's going on today?
Are you with anybody?
I'm with Kirk.
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Fine.
Remember when you and I went, we had hamburgers?
Well, that was at Zach's.
That's right. That was a Zach's.
That's right. Good memory.
That's right. That was a Zach's.
Yeah.
I'm going back there on the Monday, November 4th with Michael Friedman.
Ooh, nice.
He's a good guy. That's cool. All right, Pete. Also, yeah, follow Michael Friedman. He's a comedian in Ottawa. Yeah, and a chiropractor.
I've worked with him. Tall guy. Yeah, I know Michael Friedman. He opened for me at Absolute last time.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. He's just, by coincidence, he is a volunteer with Peter. And
he told me that. Now I remember that. He did say that.
Yeah. Just complete random. And good guy, funny guy. All right, Pete. Cool. What are you going to have for dinner for today?
Well, I guess I could have pasta. We'll see.
That's good. And you know that Americans don't like the way Canadians say pasta? They say pasta. It's the only thing that they say that sounds like it's British. Pasta. Anyway, Peter, so what'd you do today?
I was at work this morning.
Okay, and what'd you do there?
Well, at Heart and Crown, I was able to set the tables like normal. I did the outdoor patio tables, and then I set the tables inside.
Good stuff. And are you doing better at not chit-chatting so much?
Well, I only spoke at work a little bit, but nobody else ever said I spoke too much.
Yeah. And you talked to the customers once, and you got in trouble, right?
Well, maybe not too much trouble, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, that's okay. Sometimes people say, like bosses say stuff, and it's not that big of a deal. It's okay. You're just being friendly.
Okay. I know, but when I used to work at the Works in Westport, there was a manager who was too bossy, and I probably didn't like him at all.
Okay. Well, we'll have to bleep that. But anyway, we're gonna get back to the podcast. Thank you for calling, Peter. You want to say anything to anybody listening?
Okay. Well, I think I'm now a good guy. Maybe girls don't think I'm too annoying as much as they used to.
I agree. You are a good guy. You've always been a good guy, but you're.
Maybe girls from a long time ago have changed. And they probably understand when they first knew me at school or camp. Maybe they understand what they said to me was more very wrong than right.
Right, but you're also getting better at asking people questions.
Yes, but I don't want to ask questions that might be too personal for other people to give an answer to.
Yes, but you still have to ask questions. You can't just ask no questions. You have to ask questions.
Well, I can't ask. Well, maybe I can't ask too much.
Well, you have to ask some.
Sure, maybe just one or two questions.
Yeah, you have to ask one or two questions when you hang out with people. Otherwise, you're doing all the talking, and it's annoying.
Well, I could ask questions, but maybe just the very, very first two questions, no more than that.
And what are some practice questions that you and I worked on already?
Well, it's okay to ask people, like, how have you been lately?
How have you been lately? Or have you seen any good movies or TV shows lately?
That's a good idea, but I don't know if people like being asked if they had cool action figures when they were kids.
That's something you could ask them too, for sure.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, that's not too personal. Okay, we're going to go. But I love you, buddy.
bye.
See you later, Pete.
Yeah.
Those
Anyway.
are good questions.
Yeah. It's just trying to get him to ask questions,
Yeah.
and he never does it. He just talks about himself, and people get annoyed. He has trouble making friends. And it's like, people will like you more if you ask questions. But because one time when he was 9 years old, he asked a newly married couple
Oh, I remember this.
when they're going to have kids, and my dad freaked out on him and was like, that's personal. So my brother, for the rest of his life, will not ask any questions because he's worried about it being too personal. Any questions to any human being ever again the rest of his life. And I have to train him.
Yeah, it is funny. Like as a parent, like your actions have these effects, this disproportionate
Yeah.
disproportionate reaction to how your dad felt about that conversation. If he even remembers that
He won't.
conversation.
Yeah. Well, he remembers because my brother brings it up about
Right.
once a week to my dad.
But he wouldn't even think about.
No.
Yeah.
But anyway, how's JJ doing? He's doing okay?
Things are okay. We're really struggling to find him a new place to work. So that's the big
sucks.
one. I'm excited to go over there. I'm going over there in 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And for it's gonna be a longer stay. I'm trying to turn over a new leaf and take a little less work and go make sure I'm present with family. So yeah, I think I'm over there like 8 days. I want to say.
Mm-hmm. That's a long time.
So yeah, it should be a good visit. Starting to save more money for. He's gonna need another car next year. It'll be 5 years since we bought that car.
Whoa.
I know, right?
Crazy.
You can remember us buying that, right? It was like
Yeah. I thought I was like 2 years old. Yeah.
that's 4 years ago. October will be 5 years. So,
We're in October.
yeah, next October.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm starting to piece together the money to. I think I need to get him a 4-wheel drive car. I like the little. He's got a little rally car kind of style, Suzuki Swift. But some of the staff are a little nervous about driving in the snow. It's not all-wheel drive. It's like a little.
Yeah.
I think it's fun. But anyway, I take risks. But yeah, so maybe like a little Suzuki Jimny or something, and starting to save for that, starting to put together a thing, and then Christmas plans. Trying to shop for him for Christmas is always arduous. He likes so few things. One thing I will say, a little shout out to if you're looking for gifts for your disabled or severely autistic family, they have these ads all the time, like on Facebook or whatever, these like sand, I don't know what you call it, but it's like sand mixed with water and oil, and you flip it upside down and you see the sand fall downwards. I'm not describing this well at all.
Like a old timekeeper? Like a, what do you call it?
Right, so that's like an hourglass. But this will be like a giant circular thing, and it'll have sand and oil and water. And if you flip it over, because the way the bubbles hit it, it's going to go down very gradually and create these like landscapes that look like the moon or look like desert because of the way the different color sands. Man, I'm going to have to look
But he
it up.
wouldn't smash that?
He hasn't yet.
Hmm.
Boy, it would have been nice to have this. How would I Google this?
Well, don't Google it. Who cares?
Okay.
Yeah, you're just going to bring the whole podcast to a halt.
That's a good point.
Yeah. They
But
can't see it
he
anyway.
likes it a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to
Yeah.
find something for this Christmas and for his birthday. We've tried Legos. But his behavior is shifting as he gotten older. So like, it's not as breaky as it was. So like, for a while we were buying a couple phones a year, a couple laptops a year, and now he's had them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's not doing that as much.
I didn't know that. That's really good news, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really odd.
Remember back in the day, we crowd funded
Yes.
to buy up a new laptop
Well, some lady just volunteered.
or some really nice person,
really nice lady was
listener.
like, yeah, and she bought him a Panasonic Toughbook,
Mm-hmm.
and he destroyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he disassembled it,
Mm-hmm.
and they called the people from Panasonic and like, yo, it's not meant to be unassemblable. It's meant to be when it's completely intact to be indestructible. But I'm like, it sounds like tomato and tomato to me.
Mm.
But
Yeah. Anyway, should we read do in the news?
Yeah, this kind of, speaking of emotional and behavioral disorders, this is in Science Tech Daily, excuse me. Autism breakthrough, oh boy. I should have looked this up how to say it before. Cerebellar abnormalities linked to emotional and behavioral disorders. Like
Cerebellum?
there's no L at the end, it's an R.
Cerebellar.
Cerebellar.
Mm.
Yeah, you know
I don't know if I have one of those.
that old word we say all the
Yeah.
time.
Mhm.
Recent research has revealed that the cerebellum's significant role in both motor coordination and social cognitive processes, changing the traditional focus on this cerebrum. In a recent study published in the Nature Review Neuroscience, Professor Frank von Overwallen from Brain and Body, a cognition research group at Vrije Universiteit in Brussels, highlights the underappreciated role of the cerebellum in both motor functions and social cognitive process. His research supports a growing trend in neuroscience, which has historically concentrated more on the cerebrum. For decades, the cerebellum was primarily associated with motor coordination. People with cerebellar abnormalities were often experience motor issues, said von Wallen.
Mm-hmm.
Quote, for example, they struggle with smoothly touching their nose with a finger. These difficulties highlight the cerebellum's essential role in refining motor movements.
Interesting.
Expanding beyond motor functions, however, Van Overwallen's research extends beyond motor functions, exploring the cerebellum's involvement in social and cognitive abilities. His findings reveal that the abnormalities in the cerebellum not only lead to motor deficits, but are also linked to emotional and behavioral disorders. His references research on individuals with autism, demonstrating how non-invasive brain stimulation techniques like magnetic stimulation can improve social task performance. We've seen improvements in the sequence of cognitive tasks in people with autism through magnetic stimulation. We're now testing a more complex task
Oh, wow.
to see if these effects may be further enhanced, with the ultimate goal of developing practical treatments for people with autism. A notable breakthrough is the use of transcranial electrical stimulation,
Oh, yeah.
a more affordable technique
Yeah.
compared to magnetic stimulation. While the effects of ETS are still limited, the research group is committed to further development, seeing its potential for wide-scale application in the future. This research offers a fresh perspective on the cerebellum's role and paves the way for new treatments for psychiatric and neurological conditions such as autism spectrum disorders. Our hope is to refine these techniques further to improve social and cognitive functions for people with autism. That's it. Well, Graham, you know what I'm going to say.
I think it's like always... it's always nice to hear that there is new research coming, and it does it make you hopeful as a parent?
I think it's shocking how little we know about the brain. That's what always unsettles me.
Do you think any of this stuff is ever going to be available to parents listening? Like, I know you can't answer that, but like, can you think of something that we have read, some research we have read on this podcast out of the hundreds of articles we've read over the years?
Over 300.
That have come to age and become available to the public.
Fecal transplants.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah, so you know, these things do come around, and they and the fact that new stuff is happening all the time is very hopeful. And we don't know anything about the human brain. I mean, we know a lot about yours.
Well, you and I know.
You like basketball?
Do you like basketball?
Yeah, that's about it. You like cars?
The female form is nice.
Okay. I'm trying to keep it a family show.
I just meant in general. I was speaking in generalities.
Yeah.
I do like cars. I like motorcycles.
Yeah.
This trip to Italy made me think I need to get a Vespa.
Yeah.
Or at least I need to convince you to get a Vespa I can borrow. It's leather seats, Graham. I sent it to you. It's $2,500. It's within your budget.
Yeah.
It's the price of a turbo you'd put on your little green machine.
I already have a car that
Doesn't work.
doesn't work. So actually, it does work. I fixed it. I basically rebuilt it from the inside out. So it's
no
fine.
expense spared.
That's right.
What do you got going on, Graham?
I am going to be at the Comedy Fort in Fort Collins, just outside of Denver, Colorado, the last weekend of November. So that is in 1 month. I would like you to come the 29th and the 30th to Fort Collins. And I am just going to be doing shows in New York until then. I'm back in town for a month, which is going to be fantastic. In December, I'm going to be in Winnipeg, Canada, in Manitoba, home of the Guess Who. I'm going to be at Rumors in Winnipeg, December 17th to 21. That's a long haul. Come hang out. Let's go for lunch. I'll be bored.
What a sales pitch. Come for lunch.
Well, the shows will be great.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, like, during the day, take me out to lunch. Show me around. I'll have no friends. I'm there. It's normally clubs are like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. This is a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Like, that's a long...
It's a long haul.
Long December Winnipeg run, you know what I mean? But I love Winnipeg. Winnipeg, very interesting place. A lot of art comes out of there because there's...
Really?
Nowhere to go for 1,000-mile radius. So all the like creative people just go there. The closest big city is Minneapolis, and it's like an 8-hour drive south.
Oof.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oof. You just felt that January in your gut.
I've been to Minneapolis in January. It's not a vibrant town.
No, it's more vibrant than Winnipeg. Anyway, but Winnipeg, lovely place, good people.
People from Minneapolis, I'm sure, lovely people. Just there was not a lot going on. You're hanging out at the mall most of the day.
That's right.
Mall of America doing shows.
But hey, come check me out in Fort Collins. Come check me out. Come check me out in Winnipeg. What do you got going on?
I got nothing. You could do me a big favor and subscribe to my podcast.
Subscribe to his podcast.
YouTube.
You're listening to it.
Kirk Smith Comedy on my YouTube and my Instagram.
Yeah, subscribe to mine too. Graham K Comedy.
Apparently, I can't get a sentence out. I'm just teasing. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. That's it. Have a great week.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Have a great week. You can do it.
You can do it. Bye.